Taiwan has accused China of sending government vessels into restricted waters surrounding Taiping Island, also known as Ituaba, in the disputed South China Sea. Taiwanese authorities say Coast Guard forces tracked the Chinese vessels and issued warnings after they entered waters administered by Taipei. Taiping Island is the largest naturally occurring feature in the Spratly Islands and is controlled by Taiwan. The island occupies a strategically significant position along major shipping routes and has long been at the center of competing territorial claims involving China, Taiwan, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. According to Taiwan's Coast Guard administration, the Chinese vessels crossed into waters regarded by Taipei as restricted and sensitive. Taiwanese officials described the incident as a deliberate attempt to challenge Taiwan's sovereignty and test its maritime response capabilities. The Coast Guard said patrol units were immediately deployed to monitor the vessels and ensure the security of the area. Authorities stressed that Taiwan remains committed to protecting its territorial waters and maintaining a regular security presence around the island. The incident comes amid increasing Chinese maritime activity around Taiwan and across the South China Sea. Over the past several years, Beijing has expanded Coast Guard patrols, military exercises, and surveillance operations in waters claimed by neighboring countries. China claims sovereignty over most of the South China Sea, despite competing claims from several regional governments. Beijing also considers Taiwan part of its territory and has intensified military and diplomatic pressure on the self-governed island. Taiwan, however, rejects China's claims and insists that it is a sovereign entity with the right to defend its territory and maritime interests. Taiwanese leaders have repeatedly warned that Chinese actions are increasing the risk of miscalculation in the region. Security analysts say Coast Guard vessels are increasingly being used by governments to assert territorial claims without directly involving naval warships. Such encounters allow countries to project authority while avoiding the appearance of outright military confrontation. The South China Sea remains one of the world's most strategically important waterways. Trillions of dollars in global trade pass through the region every year, making stability there a matter of international concern. Any escalation could affect shipping, energy supplies, and regional security. The latest incident is also being closely watched by the United States and its allies, who have repeatedly emphasized the importance of freedom of navigation and adherence to international maritime law in the Indo-Pacific region. While the encounter around Taiping Island ended without violence, experts warn that repeated confrontations between Chinese and Taiwanese vessels increase the possibility of an accident or misunderstanding that could trigger a broader crisis. For now, Taiwan says it will continue to strengthen surveillance and patrol operations around its outlying islands, while closely monitoring Chinese movements in the South China Sea. The standoff around Taiping Island underscores the growing competition for influence and control in the South China Sea. With both Beijing and Taipei determined to defend their claims, even routine maritime patrols are increasingly becoming flashpoints in one of the world's most contested regions.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.